So this is wild. This woman's own therapist may have manipulated her to fall in love with her. Now, the woman's name is Vanessa, and she's from New South Wales in Australia, and Vanessa has some problems in her life. And so she decides maybe it's time to get professional help. And one day in 1997, Vanessa starts seeing this psychologist, this woman, who we'll just call therapist. So Vanessa sees her and she likes her. So she keeps going back and seeing her all the time. And over time, therapist learns a lot about Vanessa, and Vanessa learns a lot about therapist. And at one point, therapist is like, oh, we have so much in common. And they do. They both have 2 daughters. They're both married to their second husband. They both used to model when they were younger. Pretty cool. And so Vanessa continues seeing therapist for about 2 years. And over this period, she slowly starts to feel better. And eventually, she and therapist agree she's all good now. And therapy is no longer necessary. And then they decide to part ways. But therapist suggests that they continue to be friends. And Vanessa's like, alright. But despite that, Vanessa moves on with her life, and she doesn't hear a ton from therapist, which is fine. People say they're going to be friends all the time, and then they aren't. But whatever, Vanessa got the counseling she needed, and now she's happy. Until one day, out of nowhere, Vanessa gets a call from therapist, and therapist is all upset, and Vanessa's like, what's wrong? Then therapist drops a bomb on her. She tells her that her husband and kids were just in a car accident and they all died, which is horrible news, and Vanessa feels so bad for her. Then she asks Vanessa to come over and stay with her because she says if she doesn't have someone there watching over her, she's worried she might unalive herself. And Vanessa doesn't want that, so she tells her husband and daughters that she needs to go to her therapist's house to take care of her. Then she goes over to her therapist's place, and she's spending time with her, making sure she's okay and stuff. But then, therapist drops another bomb on her. Not only did her husband and kids just pass in a horrible car accident, but her ex-husband, the father of her children, was so devastated when he heard the news that he had started doing drugs, and now he's fallen off the face of the earth, like no one can find him. So now, this poor woman just lost everyone, and she has absolutely no one in her life. So of course, Vanessa feels almost obligated to help her out. And so she starts going over to her place, visiting a couple of times a week to make sure that she's okay and that she doesn't try to hurt herself. Meanwhile, back home, Vanessa's husband and daughters, they're watching all this go down and they're really supportive. They know that this is just the kind of nice person Vanessa is, always helping out someone in need. But then, that's when things start to take a turn. Because over time, Vanessa starts to notice, therapist, she's kind of fine.